Know thyself. The immortal words spoken by one of my historical favorites, Socrates, a few thousand years ago. What he was essentially saying is the key to knowledge, any knowledge, is looking within. Now, people over time that I've gotten to know over the past 20 years or so have learned to be afraid of introspection because they mistakenly believe that being self-aware, being self-accepting, is looking at the things that you don't like about yourself. The things that you have decided at some point are shameful, are embarrassing. That's not what self-awareness is. Self-awareness is about knowing and embracing everything about you that is human. The gifts you have, the strengths you have, the things you're not so good at. Being not so good at things simply speaks to the fact that you were put on this earth to live your strengths, not to repair your weaknesses, not to improve upon some deficit, not to please everyone who tells you who you should be. It's all about discovering those unique things about you and learning to love them. I've put a series of exercises, ebooks, and I will likely be adding other content to this section. And I cannot say enough about just how important this section is. Because in self-awareness, in being open to really seeing ourselves for who we are as this imperfect human being and finding the beauty in the imperfection, it's critical to moving forward in this course. Because the reality is, as long as we reserve the right to lie and deceive ourselves about who we are and what we truly want, everything beyond this point will be hard to achieve because we're approaching it dishonestly instead of authentically. So I want us to spend a couple weeks, maybe 2 should be enough to at least really sink your teeth into it and get a good sense of just what it is we're trying to accomplish here. And keep in mind that self-awareness is a lifelong process because as we have new experiences, they change us. We meet new people who impress upon us for the good or for the not so good. And then we need to look inside and reflect upon just what we're doing with that experience, of that event, of that person, of that new knowledge, and see how it shapes us. Do we find a way to reject it? Do we find a way to incorporate it? And when we incorporate it, now there's something new about us that we need to incorporate into our worldview. So self-awareness is that foundation of everything we do, of what we believe, why we believe what we do, why we value what we do. So take your time with this. Self-awareness isn't something that can be rushed. It's a marathon and not a sprint. So please be patient with yourself. Reach out to the Facebook group. Reach out to me, and we will help you through any stuck points that you experience. Because some of this introspective work may be new for you. You may be uncomfortable. And we want to make sure that we support you in helping this be the most peaceful experience it can be. Does it mean that things won't come up that cause some anxiety or anger? Of course not. There quite possibly could be some pain in there, some things that you think that you've gotten over, only to discover that it's still there. Well, let's deal with that. Let's find a way to turn it into something more useful, so that as you progress through this program, you're able to grow unimpeded without any of the deception that has been holding you back all these years. So let's get started. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Here's to your success.